how you doing? I'm Louis Gamino with Enviroscape LA. We're here at another project of ours here in the South Bay. One important thing to keep in mind is to have an experienced crew working on your property, and at the same time, as well as having an experienced crew, but as a homeowner, knowing certain things about your yard. For instance, where your utilities are. Now, we're all pretty familiar with the water meter. The water meter is where the water company delivers water to us. So if we take a look down here, this is a cover for our water meter. Sits on here. It's always good to know where your emergency shutoff is. This is called the water meter handle here. And basically, you just give it a turn and it will shut off delivery to the home. As I close it like that. Now, you often may wonder, well, why do I need to know that as a homeowner? Well, I will show you right now. As we take a walk back over here, typically, you're required by the city, anytime you run a main water line to the home, it should be about 12 to 18 inches below grade. So that's something to keep in mind. And the reason for that is, if you're out here planting flowers or doing maybe some Sunday gardening or having your gardener simply plant a plant you pick up at a local nursery, you want that water line, that main line, to be well below the soil surface. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be, but we live in reality. Take a look down here where my boot is, and you're going to notice this 3/4 inch copper main line. Now, if you noticed, that is, what does my shoe take off, my boot take off soil? About an inch below grade of the final grade here. So that is a huge area of incapable installation of a plumber. So it's a huge example of what not to do. So that water line actually feeds the house line through there. So you can imagine if you're out here planting, you hit it with a shovel, your gardener hits it with a shovel, and then what? You got to run, you got to shut off your main water supply to the whole home, you got to get a plumber out here in an emergency situation. You go ahead and patch that together. So that is just one of the tips. You always want to be familiar with where your shutoffs are for your home, not only at your point of home. For instance, if we take a look up here, we have, this is called the older style, it's called a gate valve. Now that shuts off water from this point into the home. We like to install the newer valves, they're called a ball valve. So that is the off position, that's the on. It's just a better quality valve. These guys were popular back in the 50s, about the 1980s, 1990s. But what do you do if you have a breaking line from here to the street? Well, then you got to shut off everything going to the whole home. So just another tip, whenever you're doing utility work, digging, excavating on your property, you want to be aware of where all your main lines are, your water lines, electrical, any underground buried utilities you want to keep in mind and know where those shutoffs are. So just another tip from Enviroscape LA, when you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.